I think another really big debate recently has been transgenders in sports. What do you think about that? Or do
I
I need to
really
give
don't
my...
have an opinion on it.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's
Sure.
such a hot button topic
It
that
really is, and that's what we're here for.
I know, but
Okay.
hold on,
Well, okay, here. Think about
because
it.
I'm divided on it. Like I see both sides of the coin with the argument.
Okay.
Like the problem with this issue for me
Yeah.
is I am in full support of my trans brothers and sisters out there.
Mhm.
Like trans women are women, trans men are men. There's no debate.
Okay.
But but this is the tightrope I feel like I have to walk with this subject is how, and maybe I'm asking you a question
Okay.
in response to your question,
Yeah.
is how, or if a listener out there has a way to educate me, like I said in an earlier segment, reach out. I'd be more than happy to break bread and listen to you. So, my confusion comes from how do I respect somebody and their identity? It's like I said, trans women are women and trans men are men.
Okay.
But I know their identity feels invalidated when we say you are not allowed to participate in female sports if you're a trans woman, right?
Uh-huh.
But to me, I'm like, yeah, that only makes sense. Like, it doesn't make you any less of a woman.
Okay.
It doesn't, I don't think. Because even though you are a woman, you were a woman trapped in a man's body that got out of it, right? But just because you got out of that man's body didn't mean you got completely 100% out of it.
Okay, sure.
And because of that, there's going to be biological things that, honestly, the way I feel about it is why are, and to my trans brothers and sisters out there, if you're listening to this, this should clear up how I feel about it to y'all.
Uh-huh.
If there is anybody who should be discussing this, it's not us.
Ah.
It should be trans people having the discussion amongst themselves about what that community wants to do, as well as, I would argue, since these people have medically and socially transitioned,
Mhm.
they've worked with a bunch of doctors. A bunch of doctors have worked with trans people. Surely a coalition of doctors who are the most trusted people in this country by far, can't they tell us? Because they're the ones that are going to know the most about the human body and the biology of it all.
Uh-huh.
If you can, if the CDC or a bunch of board of certified doctors say that trans women are, after transition, eligible to compete with biologically assigned female at birth women because due to the changes in their body, they're equal competition,
Yeah.
and had the science to back it up, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in full support of it.
Okay.
But also at the same time, if the medical community comes out and says, yes, you're still a woman and we support you,
Yep.
but
Okay.
you entering the field completely changes the dynamic
Uh-huh.
of the equality of the playing field, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
So, like I said, this is an issue that I have my opinions about, but I don't want to form any hard opinions about it until, like I said, society as a whole should not be discussing this. It's stupid that society as a whole is discussing this.
Okay, that's interesting.
We should be letting, like I said, the trans community and the medical science community have this discussion amongst themselves, because they're the two communities that need to talk about it together. And let us
Interesting.
know what needs to be done.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because really, I'm not trans, you're not trans, President Biden isn't trans,
Uh-huh.
a bunch of news commentators aren't trans, and none of those people are doctors either.
Sure.
So I'm going to take somebody else's word for it. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
What about you?
Well, I think that it should not just be between trans people and the medical doctors, because when trans peoples are in a sports field and they are competing at such a high level, let's take Leah, what's her name, Leah Thompson or whoever, the swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that that is at all completely fair. Leah Thompson was born a male. Males have advantages. They are naturally stronger. They are naturally faster. So I do not think that it is fair for a biological male to be competing against females who are going to be at such a disadvantage. You also take a look at the one little blonde gal that's been kind of going around, one of the swimmers that competed against Leah, and she was so unbelievably uncomfortable in the locker rooms because when Leah was changing, Leah had a dick, and she was not okay with that. There should not be a man in the women's locker room. So that's a little bit of mine. Now,
So, hold up.
Yes.
Sounds to me like you're not really making an argument here, because what you're telling me.
Sure I am.
You're not, though.
Do you think it's fair that a biological man competes against a biological woman, knowing well that the biological man has the advantage?
Show me the science.
Leah Thompson has a dick, and the women in the locker room have seen it.
That's not peer-reviewed science, my friend.
That is science. That is biology. A penis.
Okay. This is going to be a difficult conversation here.
That's all right. That's the whole point.
But here's the thing. Like I said, I'll reiterate my statement, because viewers listening, you can tell probably I am in firm opposition to Dominic here. So the thing about it is, yes, Leah Thompson, like you said, has a penis, but trans women, some of them have penises, and like I said, trans women are women, even if they're not fully transitioned yet. And here's the thing. If you actually take time and look into the medical science behind transitioning, right? You understand how nuanced and complicated it is and how much we do not understand it 100% yet. Like, yes, it's true, biologically speaking, everything you're saying. Men have advantages over women. Yes. Not disputing that.
Right.
But you're being very self-centered, arrogant, and ignorant when you're just saying, well, she has a penis, so she is unqualified to compete, whatever. I'm saying we should not be having this discussion. It should be the trans community and the medical community, and I want to emphasize my statement of the medical community, not only the doctors that are helping the people transition, but fucking sports medicine doctors who will know about these kinds of things, right?
Sure.
And what I'm saying and why this is so nuanced, and what you're saying, well, she has a dick, so she can't compete, is a arrogant and ignorant argument. Is, okay, is Leah Thompson completely... Does Leah Thompson not have any testosterone in their body anymore? Because doctors have pumped Leah Thompson so full of female hormones that it's literally over the testosterone in their body. That's the first part of a transition. And here's the thing, what I'm saying, it needs to be left to the medical community, is we need to let the medical community solve the question that we really haven't been smart enough to ask yet, is, think about it, dude. If you were pumped full of estrogen, yeah, as a biological male, you might have fucking more advantages over a female, right?
Yeah, I'd still be a dude.
But when the tables are turned, yeah, on the outside, right? But we're talking about hormones here. Your penis does not determine how fast you can run, anything like that. That's determined by how much adrenaline is running, how much testosterone is in your body to produce that much adrenaline, how much cortisol is being produced, how much testosterone is being produced for that, right?
Right, yep.
And it's no denial. Women produce different levels of adrenaline, cortisol, and dopamine and serotonin than men do. And it's true that somebody can look like a man on the outside, but can be a female on the inside after hormone therapy. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because once you've changed the oil in the car from testosterone to estrogen, you're not going to be a quote-unquote man anymore. You're not going to be producing the same levels of adrenaline, the same levels of cortisol, serotonin, dopamine, everything that is important to an athlete. You're going to be producing what women produce. And that's why I'm saying we need to leave this to the doctors, because they need to solve the riddle of, okay, does a male figure, like the male figure, right, the male body, who is a trans woman and a legitimate woman, after hormone therapy alone, and because if you're just talking about your penis here, you're a pervert. You're not actually interested in the debate. Like, if the male figure, after having the oil changed with estrogen, is that enough of a change in the biology of the inner workings of the body to basically turn off the quote-unquote normal workings of a man, to basically allow a level playing field? Or does that not do it enough? And why I'm saying this needs to be done is this is something that's never happened in history before. Like, trans people have existed for all time, but like this is the first time really in modern history people have actually been getting hormone therapy and getting the help they need.
Yeah.
So like I said, your penis has nothing to do with how well you can swim. It's all about your body and what's going on inside of there. And if you're discussing genitalia, you are pervert. Like, we're supposed to be interested in the sports here. And like I said, to the comment of the person who's disturbed in the locker room, that's understandable. That's a very simple fix, right? How about a locker room with some curtains in it that people can change in privately?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Simple fix. And then if somebody goes out and actively seeks that, that should be the person who's in trouble, not the trans person. Because you're a fucking creep if you're in a locker room and that's what you're interested in.
Interesting. Maybe there needs to be separate locker rooms.
No, that's a terrible idea.
I don't think so.
That just signals to me of lesser but equal. Just that's segregation right there.
Well, I guess in that case, if that's how we're gonna think, then do you think that men and women should be in the same bathrooms then?
I'm not saying men and women should be in the same bathrooms.
Same idea, though.
Not necessarily. Because, again, I know trans women that if they were walking down the street towards you and you didn't know they were trans women, you'd just think they were some suburban housewife, right?
Sure.
I know people who fully transitioned for the most part. Some people who are at the final step of like bottom surgery.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not saying societal norms need to be erased. Men and women's bathrooms should still be men and women's bathrooms.
Yeah.
But again, trans men are men, trans women are women. And to me, at least, if I saw a woman come into the bathroom in a dress, makeup, hair, everything, and go into the stall, or if I was a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't fucking think twice about it.
Okay.
Same with, male bathroom. Like, when somebody comes in, like, I've had trans men come into the bathroom, I've gone to the bathroom, go into the stall, and you couldn't tell they were trans men if you didn't know. Like, I was friends with these people.
Right.
So, again, if somebody comes into the bathroom, you can't tell that they're trans. You're a pervert. Because the only other logical explanation to me there is when somebody comes into the bathroom, one of the first thoughts on your head is what's going on in their pants. I'm like, why does it fucking matter? Like, really?
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yep. Well, that's very good. Yeah, very good to hear.
I'm just like, we could be working to disarm nuclear weapons in this world.
Yeah.
But let's sit and argue about who can and can't compete in sports and who can and can't go to the bathroom in certain places. That sounds like a perfect use of our time.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I don't know. Just, I don't know. Well, everyone, let's see how long we've. Oh God, this has been a long one. So anyway, we have had some really good discussions. I really like hearing about all this stuff. It's good that we have different opinions. It's what makes this conversation interesting. I don't care that you have different opinions. That is totally fine. I'm not going to think any.
Nor do I.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to think anything differently about you. I'm not going to think anything differently about gay people, trans people. I also have trans friends also, so trust me, I don't care. But these are just, again, hotly debated topics, and that's what we're here for.
Yep, different opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. If we didn't have different opinions, we probably wouldn't be able to do this show. So, okay. So, that has been the first little episode of our show. It went really well. We, again, had some really great discussions. If you want to be on the show, let us know. We will definitely do our best to get you on. If you want to call in, you are more than allowed to. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I suppose we will see you guys in the next video.